way to learn the value of your home is by getting it appraised. But how do you know the appraiser is looking out for your best interests?
They have the cathedral ceilings, and they have...
Buying a home could be the biggest purchase of someone's life. No one wants to overpay, but since most home appraisers are hired by the lending institution, specialists say the property values are often exaggerated.
The salesperson wants you to get the loan because they want to get a real estate commission. The mortgage broker wants you to get the loan because they get a commission on the loan. If the appraisal doesn't come in high enough, the deal falls apart. No one makes any money. So there is pressure that appraisers face all the time to come up with a higher number than the property might really be worth.
Home buyers aren't the only ones who could suffer from an inflated appraisal.
Real estate brokers will often dangle very impressive potential sales prices in order to get a listing. And if they overprice it just to get you wishing you could get that price, your property might sit on the market a long time because it's really not worth that amount.
A smart consumer will get an independent appraisal. Here are some things to consider when hiring someone to do that. The minimum qualification for appraisers is that they are licensed. Beyond that, many get trade designations which are earned through continuing education. These appraisers are typically associated with an organization such as the National Association of Independent Fee Appraisers or the National Association of Real Estate Appraisers. Look for an appraiser who's familiar with the neighborhood in which the house you want to buy is located. And once you do hire someone, make sure they're thorough.
It looks like they're looking at the inspection, making sure that they take measurements of your property or taking photographs, and also what questions they ask of you. There's a lot of research and a lot of experience and a lot of hitting the pavement and hitting the deed rooms in order to come up with an informed opinion for an appraisal. It's not just bricks and mortar.
Real estate appraisals are used for a lot more than just transactions. It's important for you to know the value of a home if you're looking to negotiate property taxes or take out a home equity loan. So make sure you get an appraiser who will do justice.
You know, this is an interesting topic because a lot of people out there, housing prices have gone up so much, 5% each year over the last 10 years. People are saying, how much is my home? Or if they want to know, they want an expert, but they don't know how much to spend.
Right. Usually, I mean, the numbers can range depending on the region, but it is basically $300 to up to $1,000, and it can be upwards of $1,000 if the appraiser has to go to court, has to do more work than just the home inspection itself. But the appraiser is a person that you need to have a recommendation, make sure you ask the questions, and make sure this person has a license because there are scams out there.
So if it doesn't have to cost $1,000?
It doesn't have to. It can cost upwards. Up to and or upwards of $1,000 depending on what
and I guess the region and where you live and stuff. So what, and I guess this is also kind of a regional question, what do they base their appraisal on? I know in some parts of the country you have to be very careful about water quality. You might have a well. In another part of the country it might be another issue.
True. They do it on three things. Sales comparison approach, and that's where they look at other homes that have been sold in that same area and look at the cost of already sold homes with your home, and they then will look at the appraisal. Another thing is physical characteristics. What is the age of the home, the square footage of the home, the condition of the home, all of those variables. And then the neighborhood trends, because that's very important as well. Is there a landfill nearby? Is there some kind of underground stream? And that's the reason that people need to research their home very well and not just walk in and let it be. Their heart is there. The research is very important as well.
Now, Val, I bet you know the scams in this whole arena too, right?
A lot of scams. There's a problem, for example, with people who don't have licenses. I mean, they call themselves an appraiser. They don't have a license. It's up to you, the consumer, to make sure that they do. Another thing is identity theft. We've talked about that a lot on this program. There are some people who will actually go and pose as an appraiser. Again, the consumer hasn't asked for verification of who they are. That person then can inflate the price, and that means that then you don't have an accurate fair market value of your home. You later then find out that the person who came and said he or she was the appraiser actually isn't. You can go in and change numbers very, very easily. So that's the reason why you need to check everything that is going to be dealing with you buying a home, including the appraiser.
And if I want to check on the person, do I call like one of these associations? Would there be a website to check?
Call the associations. Both of them have websites. Trade groups are really a great way for you to figure out at least who among all of the people who do this is possibly going to be the better person. And trade associations have standards, and that's one of the ways that you can get started.
And given what we've seen in home prices, so important now to get some objective, not inflated, honest view, right?
Absolutely, and all too many people say, but it's a great home. Well, what if it is the best home in the area? Oftentimes, having the most expensive home in the area isn't really a good thing for you.
Whew, it's one of our favorite topics, isn't it? Real estate, home prices, all of that.